Okay, firstly, thank you for joining the conversation. And congratulations for the silver, which you recently won, Sajan. And I know you've been in swimming for quite a long time, double Olympian. How did your journey in swimming initially start?
Um, I started swimming when I was 5. I was born into an athlete family. My mother was into athletics earlier. So I used to do multiple sports till the age of 12. Um, I used to run, I used to go for tennis, basketball. There's just multiple sports, but I picked up swimming around the age of 11, 12. Since my mother was an athlete, she used to go for training and she used to put me in a different sport, like any sport, so I could spend my energy well because I used to be a hiker kid. Uh, that's how slowly I moved, transforming into a swimmer.
Brilliant. So, and you've been twice to the Olympics, etc. Was the Olympics a dream always which you had?
Definitely, any sportsman apart from cricket, if you ask, their ultimate dream is Olympics. I didn't know, nobody took my hand to the Olympics, but there was people who had the similar interest and guidance in my career. So it was helpful, but it was a very challenging task.
Do you think over the years now, Indian swimmers are really making it globally? They mark globally.
2021 is the year after COVID. Me and another boy, Srihari Nataraj, made the A qualifying time. But after that, there were quite significant performance by the Indian swimmers, but I would say we are still not very far away from the world standards. It is a huge catch up that we need to do. Systematic training programs and the culture we need to build because swimming is a very scientific sport. It's the only sport in the water, so it gets very technical and smaller movements and habits has huge impact on the timings and performance. So it's very technical and we need to work very systematically.
Sajjan, what's a training day like in your life?
For me, it's 20% of the time during the time in the day we spend in training. But for me, training is a complete job. Recovery is part of training. So sleeping, if you don't sleep enough and eat well, you don't recover well, and then you don't perform well in training. So morning we wake up around 5:30 and then go for training by 6:15. We swim about 2 hours a day, 2 hours in the morning, and then we go have breakfast, go sleep again, um, and then wake up. We go do our gym from 11 to 12:30. It's 1.5 hour, and then have lunch, rest for some time, and then again evening session. So it's we do about 6 hours in a day, just physical activities. But the
Sajjan,
rest
where
of
do
the
you
time
most
resting is also.
absolutely where do you mostly train?
Currently, I train at Inspire Institute of Sport in Vidyanagar. Uh, it's in Karnataka.
If you were to talk about the national circuit, and I'm talking about both men and women, have you seen improvements over the last few years?
There were, yes, some national records are broken. Definitely, there is good uh, um, opportunities and areas of improvement. I've seen backstroke, some boy who has done really well, and butterfly. But there is, I would always say that there is a huge catch up to do. Understanding of sporting culture is very much lacking. We are not doing the necessary things to improve.
Absolutely understandable. But do you think support in swimming has increased also over the years, with programs like talks and perhaps in terms of financial support for swimmers? Do you think all of this has improved?
Definitely, there is a lot of push and financial support in the last 10 years from the government, from the private sectors, from everywhere. Um, Kelo India programs has ultimately definitely helped the athletes and gives that opportunity to nurture them. Uh, the only problem I feel is that the coaching system, people are not guided properly. One standard program fits everyone. The ideology should be avoided, and we need to get the coaches have to get more technical, because one person guiding 50 swimmers, they are going to transform every child's life. So they need to be ultimately more educated and more updated with the latest technologies.
Absolutely. What is the next goal for you, Sajan?
My next goal, I just qualified for the Commonwealth and Asian Games in the Singapore meet. So we were looking at the Commonwealth and Asian Games for a very long time. Good that I made the qualifying cut. I don't have to go again and do the qualifying time anymore. So uh, Commonwealth and Asian Games for this year, and ultimately the Olympics in 2 years.
Uh, in terms of training, you said you train at IS, and I'm sure Sajan, being a swimmer, being an athlete, you have both good days and bad days. Of course, your performance always is, up and down, and sometimes, etc. When not when things are not going accordingly to your plan, how do you motivate yourself? What do you do when things are not going right for you?
I mean, I'm still finding the answer for that, but having a clear plan and aligning your habits and attitude towards the plan. Definitely, when you do that and be more super conscious, I don't think anything will go apart from that. You you don't handle it well when you have a plan and you don't have the habits towards it. You need to really submerge your thoughts into actions and really doing what's necessary and taking one day at a time and keeping yourself healthy throughout, and not stressing too much only on the end result will make you help better. And that's what sport teaches us, how to handle things better.
Absolutely. Do you have any indulgence in terms of maybe kind of music you listen to, or the books you read, or the shows you watch, which automatically sort of makes you upbeat or motivates you, perhaps?
I mean, if you ask me, in social life, I try to draw inspiration from everything. Even in my Instagram, I just follow pages which is more inspiring and motivating. I mean, you have to learn from every side of it. Then only you learn how to avoid those mistakes in the future from your own actions, and where to draw inspiration, what you can correct yourself with, what you should do and what you shouldn't do. So just be more aware and open. Um, just live a stress-free life, putting a limit on yourself that you have to do only this and that.
Any athlete you look up to?
Definitely being a swimmer, um, I would say Michael Phelps, that I look up to. Every swimmer aspires to be like Michael Phelps, but also I admire everyone who works hard. Rafael Nadal or Roger Federer, their discipline. Djokovic, in that case, more disciplined for throughout many years with his nutrition or the habits. So these are the people I think give me more, inspire me more to do better.
My last question is: do you think this future of swimming in India is correct?
Definitely, there are more talents, but talents, not just being having the talent is the matters, but also uh, aligning the thoughts from both parties and being on one single plan. What happens is the coach is on a different plan and the swimmer is on a different plan, and they do not work out always well together. Um, the process of being trusted from both parties and running in one plan always works out better. And we need a lot of coach education in our country, and um, we need to invest more lot on people who are doing the right things and guiding them better.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sajjan, for talking to us. And we really
Thank you.
wish you well for your upcoming tournaments.